Hi friends, it's Danielle with Take Care Mama, and today I'm talking about the 21 books I would like to read in 2021. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'd love for you to stick around and hit that subscribe button. I do a lot of stuff on this channel, motherhood stuff, natural crunchy stuff, parenting a child with ADHD, and I've been adding a lot of book stuff in recently. So what I've been reading, what I've been loving, and I am working on my own novels. So I would love to have you. We'll get right into this. I think the point of this tag is to talk about new releases in 2021 people are looking forward to. I think all of my books are backlisted. I am a backlist reader, at least right now. I just feel like there are so many books for me to read, and I'm a library reader, so I would rather have other people vet the new releases and for me to learn about them and get them later on for my library if it's something I want to read. So here are my 21 books I want to read this year. They aren't in any order, but the first 4 are Stephen King books. I am pretty new to Stephen King, and I'm excited to read more. All of the books I talk about will be linked below, and I also have an Audible coupon for you if you haven't signed up for Audible before. I think you'll get 1 or 2 free books. The first one, oh, here it is Misery by Stephen King. I'm going to quickly talk about these books. I'm not going to say a ton about them, mostly because I don't know a lot about them. I don't like to know a lot of details about books before I read them. But Misery, I think, is like my most anticipated King read. It is a thriller, and it is about an author who gets kidnapped by a fan of his work, and that's what I know. I also know that they are the only 2 characters in this whole long novel, so that's pretty cool. And I think it's really disturbing and creepy, and I'm here for it. I'm excited. The second one, oh, I'm so excited for this too, and that is 11/22/63. This is a thriller slash science fiction slash historical fiction, I would say. It is about, I think the protagonist is male, and he time travels back in time in order to try to prevent the assassination of JFK. I really love time travel books, and I've heard great things about this book, and I am excited. Number 3 is The Green Mile, also by Stephen King. I am reading this in February. This is about a man on death row, maybe several men on death row, and I think the guard is a big part of this story. Maybe everyone knows this. It's a super famous movie. Tom Hanks is in it. I have not seen it. I thought The Green Mile this whole time was a war movie. It's not. Heard my friend Nicole told me it's devastating. So I'm gonna be ready, and I'm excited. The 4th and final Stephen King revival. I don't even know what this is about. This to me looks like a story with a lot of religious themes interspersed. It looks like we have a minister. Okay, I don't know much about it. I know people really liked it. I think this is one of the newer Stephen King books. 2014. Not really. So that is the 4th on my list. Moving on to non-Stephen King, Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I looked up how to say his name. I hope that's right. I've been wanting to read him for a while. I just found out, used to work for The Atlantic, which is my favorite magazine. And he writes a lot about, I think, the Black experience in America. He is a Black man. He talks a lot about white supremacy. And this is a book he wrote to his son about the Black man experience in America. And it's gotten really good reviews, and I am excited to read this. Okay, number 5 is Bunny. I am obsessed with Kayla from Books and Lala. I'll link her channel below. I think I'll talk about her for a few more books that we go through. And she said she loved this book, and it's really weird. and I kind of like weird books. So from what I know about this book, it's about young women, they might even be in high school, maybe college, who are in some kind of cult. And I really like a book about a cult. It's pretty much all I know, and I'm excited. Number 7, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is a 2020 release, I believe, and people lost their minds over it. I'm really excited. It is about a woman who makes a deal with the devil that she is going to live forever. But there's always a but. She will not be remembered by anyone. And I think what the deal is, if someone looks away from her, they forget her. So it seems to me like she's not even going to be able to have meaningful relationships with people. It sounds like a really lonely life. I think this book covers hundreds of years, and she travels around the world, and I hear the writing is beautiful. It's by V.E. Schwab. I've never read her before. This is one of like my top ones. I'm really excited to read this. Number 8, again, I'm pretty sure this was a 2020, release, The Midnight Library. Oh, this is actually really cool. I love stuff like this. I think there's a library and each book represents your life if you had made different choices. So different realities, different outcomes are in this library. It sounds like a really cool concept. That's all I know. Again, that's how I like it. Moving on to number 9. Oh, I don't even have, okay, I need your help for number 9. I just read Frederick Backman's Anxious People, and I was obsessed. I am obsessed. This is my most favorite book I've read in many, many years, and I know he's a very popular author, and I can't decide which of his I should pick up next. So if you are familiar with him and have a recommendation, I love, love, love this. So if something is kind of similar to this, I love the style. I love his humor. I would love your recommendations in the comments below. How many times can I say love? Number 10 is The Alchemist. I might start reading this week, actually. This has been on my list for quite a long time. It's a fable of someone trying to get some treasure and they learn lessons. I really like fables, and it's a short book. I'm here for it. I'm kind of bummed. I looked on Goodreads and looked up like what my friends thought of it who have read it, and it's very mixed with their ratings. I always thought everyone like really loved this book, but at least in my friend group, that's not the case. I hope I love it. I'm really excited for this. The next one, number 11, I also have a copy. I'm a library girl, is Specimen Days by Michael Cunningham. Michael Cunningham, I really love. He wrote The Hours, which is one of my favorite books. And you know what? That might be my all-time favorite movie. I love that movie. And I've read at least 1 or 2 more of him. And I got this, reading a little bit about it. Like The Hours, it seems there are 3 stories of different times. And I think even in here, there's like some futuristic science fiction elements to one of the threads. And that's what I loved about The Hours. These 3 different stories that were kind of related, but you weren't sure. And in the end, they all came together. I don't know if that's the case with this. I'm going on a trip next month. I've only ever read Michael Cunningham on vacation, so I might try to save this for my trip. Oh, my back hurts, you guys. Okay. Number 12, another really popular one. I think it was a 2019 release, is The Silent Patient. This is a mystery thriller. And I think it's about a woman who killed her husband, or we think killed her husband, we're pretty sure. and she has not spoken a word since the death. I think she's in a mental hospital, and we've tried to figure out what really did happen. Number 13 is The Woman in the Window. This is waiting for me at the library right now. Mystery thriller, AJ Finn. A woman, I think she's kind of a drunk, and she sits at home and looks out her window, maybe drinks too much wine, and she sees her neighbors. It reminds me a little bit of Girl on the Train, reading the premise. Drunk woman sees something she shouldn't see, tries to solve the mystery. I really liked The Woman. Is that what it's called? The Woman on the Train? I liked that book. Oh, the next one's right here. The Year of the Witching. I want to say this was her first novel. And again, Kayla from Books and Lala loved it. I don't know anything about this book. I am interested in reading more witchy books, and this is the one I chose for this list. I think it's about a woman who discovers she's a witch, and society doesn't quite like that. I think it's kind of, a story we're familiar with. This person said, Handmaid's Tale meets Salem. Here for it. Whoops, somehow I left this off my list, but number 15 is Middle Game. I don't know anything about this except that it's fantasy, urban fantasy, maybe even some time travel, and people seem to love it. I'm really excited for this, and I really adore this cover. It is so cool. Okay, number 16 is Elitsu. I think it's called Elitsu. Again, I'm kind of obsessed with this Kayla from Books and Lala. It looks like a magical realism book. The book I'm working on is magical realism, at least right now. And I like that. I like when everything seems kind of normal, except there's a little bit of magic. And so I'm excited to check this out. Number 17 is Split Tooth. This, I think, is about animal spirits. I think it's a little bit like Elitsu magical realism. If I'm not mistaken, I think the protagonist can communicate with animal spirits. I think it's kind of a spiritual, indigenous story. If I am wrong about any of this, feel free to correct me in the comments. Ooh, number 18, The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. Ruth Ware is so popular. I've only tried one of her books, and it was this one, not this one, but The Woman in Cabin 10. And I didn't finish it. I did not like that, but I know that people really like this author, and so I wanted to try at least one more of her books. I chose this one. It sounds really intriguing. Mystery thriller is what Ruth Ware writes. It is about a woman who needs some cash, and quite unexpectedly she gets an inheritance from a woman she doesn't know. I think there's a mix-up. They think she's someone who she isn't, so the inheritance isn't really supposed to go to her. But like I said, she really needs money, and so she kind of desperately goes along with it, and maybe that wasn't a good idea. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for all of them, obviously, but I'm really excited for that. Number 19 is The Vanishing Half. I could not tell you anything about. Oh yeah, this is popular. This is, I think it might be a 2020 book or 2019. I think this is about two people who are twins. I think this is about twins, and they are black but light skin toned, and one of them grows up being white as her identity, and one of them grows up being black as her identity. And what happens next, I don't know, but I thought that was a really intriguing concept for a book. Number 20 is Hood Feminism. I only have 2 nonfiction on here, and this is the second. I think it's nonfiction, yeah. I took a class called Gender, Sex, and Politics in college my senior year, and what I remember from that book is that if you are a feminist, you also have to be an advocate for people of color and women of color. You can't really separate the movements. And I think that's the whole point of this book. So it's kind of going to take me back to college days, and I'm really excited to learn more and hopefully what I can do to advocate Hood Feminism. And my number 21 book, the 21st book that I want to read in 2021, though these were not in order, is What Lies Between Us by John Mars. This is a mystery thriller. I just found out about this book, but it seems pretty cool. So 2 older women, I thought they were sisters, but now I think they aren't sisters. I'm not sure if it matters. 2 older women live in a house together, and I think the synopsis was like, they spend their day together, they eat dinner, and then one takes the other back to the attic and locks her up for the night, like chains her to the bed or something crazy. So just spooky, weird backstory. What's the backstory? I think we'll find out. And it sounds pretty spectacular. So those are the 21 books that I hope to read in this year, 2021. I hope it's a good year for all of us. And I think it'll be kind of fun at the end of the year to see how many of these I read. Yeah, I hope most of them. So I'm gonna do my best to get through these. I'd love for you to leave a comment below about what you are most excited to read in the near future, and maybe we can give each other some ideas. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please subscribe if you aren't already. Give this video a thumbs up. I hope to see you again, and take care. Bye, guys.